Delicious. Hey guys, what's up? It's Tova coming at you with a new video. Definitely not an old video because that wouldn't make any sense. And today we are kind of diving into a more serious sit-down video. Today I'm going to bring some facts to you, some science to you, and you're gonna be blown away. Today we're going to be talking about why you're not seeing the gains and the results that you want to see in the gym. This is a very touchy subject and this is a very popular subject for so many people. I get asked this question often. Also, if you hear any banging in the back, there's renovation going on in my basement. So just try and ignore it, okay? So the very first reason why you might not be seeing progress in the gym is probably something that you've heard very often, and it is, are you following a workout program? And if so, how long have you been following it for? Are you on a progressive overload program or not? So that might sound like gibberish to you, and I will explain it to you right now. Progressive overload is essentially the increase of volume and weight we add to our training program in order to see gains and growth in the gym. Most programs have progressive overload in them because essentially you should be starting at a weight for a numerous amount of exercises and then increasing that weight as your program goes on. Now, let's say you're following a 8-week program and you've been doing the same exercises for 8 weeks straight. Eventually, your body is going to adapt and get used to it. It will slow down the gains and plateau. What many people don't know is that they actually have to switch things up after that happens. So many people just continue to follow the exact same training program. They're not progressing at all because they're kind of just staying status quo. They're staying the same. So the first thing is that you need to switch up your training program. There's different ways of switching this up. Some people will just go on a deload week, which means that they just cut the volume in half and they kind of take a chill pill. Another way of doing this is just changing up your program in general, changing the exercises, changing the weights, changing the reps, etc, etc. Oh fuck, I have 4 minutes left. Okay, 1 second. I didn't realize I had like no storage left in my camera, so I hope that I put it back in the same place, but knowing me, I probably didn't, and that's gonna piss me off for the rest of the video. That's fine. So essentially, when we start training, let's say we're beginner, we kind of go through our first phase, and if you are more advanced in lifting, then you'll probably relate to this. When you first started lifting, like in your first year, you probably saw results very quickly, and even though you didn't know exactly what you were doing, you perhaps followed a workout plan for like 10 weeks, 12 weeks, couple months, you probably still saw results because your body isn't used to that amount of stress that it's being put through. But once you kind of hit over that 1 year mark of exercising, your body starts to slow down and adapt. For someone like myself who's been working out for 7 years, I can't follow the same workout plan for a year. I just have to make sure that I am either deloading or that I am changing things up in my program. Now, the second reason that is kind of attached to this, that you might not be seeing gains in the gym, is that you're not following a workout program at all. It's all fun and games when you go to the gym and you get to work whatever the heck you want to work. You can train whatever you're feeling that day. However, if you're not tracking your progress at all or trying to increase your weight or increase the reps or sets of particular exercise as you would in a program, then you won't be seeing the types of results that you may be wanting to see. It is fun, and some people love to train like that. I trained like that for nearly 6 to 8 months. I trained like that just because I was getting sick and tired of following a program. I constantly found myself distracted. I saw a new exercise and I wanted to try that exercise. I couldn't decide, and that's fine. I've been lifting for enough that I can try whatever I want. So if you want to try that, but just know that you won't be seeing the results that you may want to be seeing. Reason number 2 is that you are actually overtraining a muscle. So I did some research and I found an article that basically took 6 young adult males who participate in resistance training, basically like bodybuilding, and they were asked to perform an exercise constantly. Now, what the study found was that basically muscle protein synthesis is a process in which protein gets produced in order to kind of repair the muscle damage that has been caused by exercise or like strenuous exercise, like heavy lifting. What the study wanted to see was the levels of muscle protein synthesis and if it rose and when it goes back down and when it's safe to train again without overtraining and potentially hurting your muscles. So this study found that 4 hours after training, your muscle protein synthesis went up by 50%. Once it actually hit 24 hours, it doubled to about, I think it was 109%. And then after 36 hours, it came back down and reached 14%. That shows that if you were to train that same muscle 24 hours after working it, you would be damaging that muscle. You would be hurting it and it wouldn't be optimal for your gains. If you're hitting like legs, back, legs, which some people do, that would not be optimal for your progress in the gym. Essentially what the study found was that it is safe to say that after 48 hours, you can train the same muscle group again. Number 3 is that, are you lifting in general? Some people are only doing cardio and they're not lifting enough weight, or they're lifting too little of weight and they want to be seeing those muscular gains. So I found that when I first started my fitness journey around like the first, second year, I was doing a lot of cardio, but I wasn't doing a lot of lifting. I didn't see as much progress as when I started lifting. So when you start building on that muscle, your metabolism starts working faster. You start burning more calories, which will help with weight loss or burning fat. You have to ask yourself, am I doing enough activities that will help promote having more muscle on my body? If you're just going on the Stairmaster 30 minutes a day, 5 times a week, you will not be seeing the same kind of results as you want to see if you are weightlifting. Number 4, you're probably waiting for me to say it, it's about a diet. Are you feeding yourself properly? Someone who is lifting a lot of weight, you need to be making sure that your macronutrients are on point, that you're eating enough protein, carbs, fat, etc. so you can be replenishing your body after working out. A lot of the time, people aren't eating enough, or they're eating too much, or they don't know what the heck they're eating, which is fine, it happens. My question to you is, have you ever tracked your macros? Are you currently tracking your macros? If you are tracking your macros, are you being very flexible with it? Like, are you snacking? Are you still eating things without tracking it? Because it all plays a role in your results and your progress. Do you know how much you should be eating a day? Like, have you ever looked into how many calories you should be eating in a way that, like, if you want to get leaner, like, are you eating less calories than what you're burning? Are you currently eating more calories than what you're burning? You have to see these things to make sure that you're working in the right direction, because if you're trying to get leaner but you're still eating way more calories than what you're burning in the gym, you may not be seeing results that way because you need to be in a caloric deficit. A lot of people think that if they undereat, like if they're eating like 500-600 calories a day and they're going to the gym constantly, that they're going to see amazing results, but that is also not the case, because you're not providing enough nutrition and resources to your body to help it recover, and that could also be why you find yourself plateauing. The 5th tip is, if you are tracking and if you are meal prepping and actually like on a diet plan, are you giving yourself a cheat day or a cheat meal? I find a cheat meal or a cheat day to be very helpful. It's helpful physically and psychologically, because that cheat day kind of gives yourself a break. Your brain needs it physically as well. It's very helpful to have a cheat day. Cheat days are supposed to increase the production of leptin. Now, what is leptin? Leptin is a hormone that helps regulate energy balance by regulating hunger. With the increase of leptin, it'll also help with regulating weight loss. Cheat meals will also help boost your metabolism. It can also replenish your glycogen stores, which if your glycogen stores are depleted, then you'll find yourself more fatigued, more prone to an injury. You'll find your performance kind of lacking. So it's very important to have that cheat day in so you can kind of replenish everything. It's like a kickstart. It's very important. So make sure that you're giving yourself a cheat day, because if you're dieting for like 3-4 weeks straight, like, you are going to get not only extremely fatigued, but your performance is also going to start hurting too, and your mental performance is also going to start hurting too. As we just mentioned mental performance, we are going to talk about the 6th tip. Are you mentally there? I think that our mental gains are just as important as our physical gains, and when we can align ourselves mentally and physically, then we'll get the best kind of gains and we'll see the best kind of progress in the gym. Let's say you're exercising constantly and you're pulling yourself to the gym, but you're mentally not there. Like, you are telling yourself, you don't look good, you don't want to be here, you're not enjoying this, your attitude is just absolute crap towards the gym. You will probably not be attracting the right kind of energy. You may not be seeing the same types of results in the gym in comparison to if you were like, I feel good, I'm making progress, I'm going to get the body I want, I can visualize the body I want, I can see where I want to be, I'm gonna get there. Your attitude towards your training program or towards training in general will be very helpful for your progress in the gym. So if you have a pessimistic attitude, your progress may be a lot slower than if you were positive and if you had that kind of mental toughness to push through. In addition to that, your mental strength in your exercises, knowing that you can do something, also helps. So a study that I recently found took 3 groups of university football players. Basically, there was a group that only did mental training, a group that did physical training, and then a control group that didn't do anything. They tracked a specific exercise once again. The mental training group only did the exercises in their head. So they thought about doing the exercise and then doing the sets for it, the reps for it, and then increasing the weight every so often. The physical training group actually did it, and then the control group didn't do the exercise at all. This study found that that the group that did the mental training actually increased the most gains wise and were able to lift the most, which I found to be very interesting because that also shows that mental strength has a lot to do with physical strength. So if you can think it, if you can visualize yourself, lifting a 315 deadlift or a 415 squat, whatever it is, then you can do it. You just have to think about it, visualize it, know that you're strong enough, and then with adequate mental training and physical training, you can get to where you need to be. The last thing I want to say on mental bit is visualization. So I think it's very important to know what you want to look like. If you can picture your perfect body, or even better, if you can find a photo of it, like know someone that you look up to, and kind of like post it in your room or have it as your wallpaper, that will help with your goals because you will be looking at it every single day and subconsciously you will be gravitating towards that direction. If you can visualize it, then your attitude and energy will kind of start changing with that. So that is my 6 tips as to why you may not be seeing results in the gym and what you could be doing in order to start seeing results in the gym. I know it's a lot to kind of digest. I hope that I made it simple enough for you. There's a lot of science that goes into it, but if you guys want me to go more in depth about any of these topics, I totally can, and I would be happy to. With all that being said, leave any comments down below if you have any questions or if you want to see any more tips and videos that are similar to these from me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to stay cool. Peace!